Have you ever felt that quiet kind of creeping distance in a relationship? It's not about some big dramatic fight. It's more of a silent drift that can leave you feeling incredibly lonely, even when the person you love is right there beside you.
But here's the thing. What if that distance isn't the final stop? What if it's just a place you're passing through? Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you the map, a guide based on real research to help you not just understand why that drift happens, but how to find your way back to each other.
All right, so the first step with any map is figuring out where you are right now. So let's start by looking at the symptoms, those subtle, often invisible red flags that tell you a connection might be in trouble.
Okay, the first red flag, and honestly one of the most damaging, is criticism. And we're not just talking about a simple complaint here. This is what the amazing relationship researcher, Dr. John Gottman, calls character-targeted criticism. It's an attack on who your partner is at their core, and it makes them feel completely attacked as a person.
Think about a phrase like this. It's not really about a chore that didn't get done, is it? It's a judgment on who your partner is. It basically says, this is a permanent negative part of you, which of course is going to put anyone on the defensive.
And this right here is such a crucial difference. Look, a complaint is healthy. It focuses on a single event. Hey, I'm upset about the trash. It's specific, it's about an action, and you can solve it. Criticism, on the other hand, is a global attack. You're so unreliable. It feels impossible to fix and just kicks off a cycle of blame.
So why do we even do this? Why do we fall into these really destructive habits? Well, to figure that out, we need to look a little deeper at our map to find the underlying cause. And you know what? A lot of the time, it's not because of a lack of love. It's a clash of attachment styles we learned a long, long time ago. This is what psychologists call the anxious-avoidant trap. Someone with an anxious style deeply fears being abandoned, so they seek closeness to feel safe. But the person with an avoidance style, their deepest fear is being smothered or controlled, so they need independence to feel safe. You can see the problem right away, can't you? The very thing one person needs triggers the deepest fear in the other.
And this sets up this awful push-pull cycle. The anxious partner pursues, trying to get closer to feel okay. But that pursuit feels totally overwhelming to the avoidant partner, who then pulls away to get some space. And the result? It's terrible. The anxious partner's fear of being abandoned comes true, and the avoidant partner's fear of being smothered also comes true. Both people end up feeling hurt, totally misunderstood, and more trapped than ever before.
Okay, so our map has shown us the symptoms and the cause. Now it's time for the good part, the way forward, the solutions. This is where we look at the absolute worst communication habits, the relationship killers, and more importantly, the cures that have been proven to work.
But before we get to the cures, you really need to understand the single most destructive behavior a relationship can face. I mean, decades of research have shown that this one thing, more than any other, can predict the end of a relationship with scary accuracy.
And that behavior is contempt. This is so much more than criticism. Contempt is communicating disgust. We're talking sarcasm, cynicism, name-calling, eye-rolling, hostile jokes. Contempt is poison because it always comes from a place of superiority. It's basically saying, I'm better than you.
But here is the hopeful part. Dr. Gottman didn't just identify these problems, what he called the 4 horsemen. For every single one, there's an antidote, a specific cure. So instead of criticism, you use a gentle startup. That just means talking about your own feelings with I statements. Like, I feel worried, instead of, you never. To fight contempt, you have to actively build a culture of appreciation. Like, intentionally thank your partner for small things, out loud. Instead of getting defensive, you practice taking responsibility, even if it's for just a tiny piece of the problem. And when someone stonewalls or just completely shuts down, the answer isn't to push them harder. It's for that person to take a 20-minute break to calm down and self-soothe.
All right, let's get to the final part of our map. These are the proactive skills that don't just put out fires, but actually build a stronger, deeper, more resilient connection for the future.
And these are really concrete skills you can start using today. Active listening isn't just being quiet while the other person talks, it's listening to actually understand, and then saying back, okay, what I think I heard you say was, to make sure you got it. Validation is huge. It doesn't mean you agree, it's just a simple act of recognizing that your partner's feelings are valid from their point of view. A simple phrase like, I can see why you'd feel that way, is a game changer. And finally, a weekly check-in. This creates a safe, scheduled time to talk about the relationship so you can handle little things before they blow up into huge problems.
So really, the path forward is a pretty clear 3-step journey. First, you have to see the symptoms, like criticism.
Second, you have to understand the cause, like that anxious-avoidant trap. And finally, you have to actively use the cure by practicing these new skills and antidotes.
Look, this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a real toolkit for finding your way back to each other. And remember, it's not about big, grand gestures. It's about making small, intentional changes in how you talk to each other. So think about it. What's one skill you learned here that you can try in your very next conversation? Because that one small shift, well, it could be the start of everything.